How's it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to the Yellow Bus Guy Garage, and today we're working on the ZRX. Gonna do a little bit of an upgrade, and it's something I've been thinking about for quite a while, and I've been online and I've been reading up on these advancers, and this one is produced by a company called Expensive Lightweight Stuff, or Expensive Lightweight Shit, whichever way you want to look at it. But it's a laser cut piece out of real high quality steel. See, it's fairly thick. And what this does, this advances your timing by 4 degrees static. So, and the benefits are touted as being easier starting, a little bit better throttle response, a little bit stronger response on top end, and I think there's a very modest 1 or 2 horsepower power gain with a stock engine. Now, standard compression, you want to run, you can get away with running 4 degrees. If you have high compression pistons, say out of a ZZR or something like that, you should run 2, because you can't advance your ignition that much with higher compression. So what we're going to do today is install it, and it lives behind this cover here, and your timing chain is behind here. So this is wet, so I got a pan under here. We'll take these, we've got 2, 4, 6, 7 bolts, 8mm in size. We're going to pull them off and see what lives behind there. So be right back with you. Okay, you've removed your pulsar cover bolts. Tap it lightly with like the handle of a screwdriver or something like that. It should pop loose fairly easily. There's a little bit of silicone where the case joins here and here. See, it's where the two case halves come together, so you need a little dab of silicone there, and there's a little bit of silicone on the grommet here where the ignition wires come through the case. So you want to clean that up and make sure everything's dry. There's a little bit of oil in here, and what I did, I wiped it out with my finger, then took a clean rag and dried up, clean everything up so you have a nice dry surface for when you reassemble. The cover itself is going to have some oil in it, so I set it in the pan, let it drain, wipe it out, dry it up as best you can, and in my case the gasket came off all in one piece, so I can put it back together without having to worry about changing the gasket. You should be able to do the same too. It's not a high, or it's not a lot of pressure on the gasket in the first place, and it should work out well for you. This bolt and this bolt require a drop of blue or a dab of silicone, because these live in a wet environment and then they could weep oil. And I've also heard where people reassemble this without doing anything there and they've not had any problems. So, just as a precaution, something like that, just to seal the threads up so these don't weep on you, because these are inside the crankcase where there's oil, they're exposed to oil. So take a razor blade, gently scrape away the old silicone, and we're going to take a 6mm Allen here, hold this still with a crescent wrench or a wrench of your choosing, and it's only like 18 pounds, something like that, so it shouldn't be a big deal to pop this off. And when we get her disassembled, we'll be back. Okay, here we have the stock advancer removed, and here's the new expensive lightweight shit rotor. And you can tell the quality here is just, not that it matters, but it's really well made. This is just a stamped part. It's produced with a tool in a press, stamped out like a cookie cutter, and there's going to be some variation. If you were to blueprint this, I doubt it's exactly where it should be, where this is laser cut. You see how crisp the edges are? And then you have the stamp piece, and you see it's not near as crisp. This is going to be more accurate just inherently, because it's better made, higher quality and precision made, where this is just a stamped part. Anyway, you pulled your 6mm Allen off, and that nut just slides off. See, it has a little cutout here that fits over a roll pin that's on your crank, end of your crank. And see, here's this little roll pin right here. Inspect that, make sure it's not bent, because people often will use that big nut to turn the motor, and you're not supposed to, and you can tweak this a little bit. And if this is bent, it's going to offset where your advancer is supposed to be. See, it fits in this notch here, and if it's bent one way or the other, it's going to mess your timing up. So check that, make sure it's straight. Mine's nice and square. I'm the only owner of this bike, so I know what's been done, but if you bought your bike used, this is worth looking at. So we're gonna put everything back together, and like I said, just a little bit of silicone here and here and here, and some blue here, or a little bit of silicone should work. Reassemble everything, and I don't have the torque specs right off the top of my head. Look in your manual, look it up. It's available online. Snug everything down, and it's not very much. It's like 14 pounds or something like that, 10 or 12, 14 pounds. And it's, you know, like I said, it's not a high load thing. All you're doing is keeping oil in. So we'll get us all back together and see how she runs. All right, we got everything all buttoned up, cleaned up. Bolts are all tight. You can find the specs on the ELS website, and for the torque values. And now for the moment of truth. And one of the attributes that they say for their product is means easier starting. And ever since I've owned this bike, it's always cranked over a few times before it fires. So we'll see. So let's give her a shot. Well, that's a good sign. When things start up, that's always a good sign. We'll do some riding and some tests on this thing, and I'll let you know what I think. So until then, thanks for coming around, and there we go, cold, good idle. I'll let you guys know how it goes. So y'all ride safe and take it easy.